Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. I23M told my mom45F I no longer want a relationship with my mom. How do I cope now? My father passed away when I was 6, so it's just been me and my mom. She was my everything. We used to do everything together. When I was 13 years old we used to watch Family Guy together. I used to tell her all of my crushes in school. I used to rush to the door and give her a hug and kiss every time she used to come back to work. I used to cheer her on in her women's basketball game. Senior year was crazy. With college applications and everything going on. My mom was going out more. I was happy for her. I didn't want her to be alone when I left for college. I hoped she found someone to settle down with. It was close to the end of senior year. I got accepted to 2 universities with a full scholarship. One was a strong school nearby while the higher ranked one was nearby. Later in senior year, there was a rumor going around that she slept with one of my friends. This guy switched schools senior. My buddies and I befriended him and we just clicked. I had him over at my house a couple of times. The rumors turned into bullying badly. I was humiliated at lunch and in gym. Eventually it really got to me. On a Sunday I snooped through my mom's phone when she was in the shower. I honestly wanted to puke. The proof was there. Tons of messages of what motel room to hook up and when I'm not around. There were also dirty messages. I didn't confront my mom yet. I don't have anywhere to go. Both of my grandparents lived out of state. But I made a lot of decisions from then on. I chose the school on the opposite side of the country. I spent more time with my friends and girlfriend. Then stay at home. At a certain point my mother was imploring me to spend time with her, but I gave her the usual bullshit of being too busy. She sort of got the memo that I had a lot on my plate and mind. I begged her not to come with me to help me move in, but she refused. She tried to hug me goodbye and I gave her that 2-second hug. When she left I cried my heart out. My roommate, now upcoming best man to my wedding, asked me why I was crying, but I told him I couldn't share. After she landed, I texted her about everything. When I mean everything, I mean everything. Then I blocked her number. Within 2 days, I got a call from my aunt, 2 uncles, and both sets of my grandparents. I didn't talk to them. I just sent them the text I sent to my mom. College was an interesting experience. I did everything to forget about my mom. I studied my ass off. Went to parties and joined a frat. Everyone asked why I deleted all of my social media. I gave the same bullshit lie. I found social media distracting and addicting. People either didn't care enough to poke their nose enough in my business or just bought that shit. Some of you must be wondering if my mom tried to reach out. Well, she had during my college time. She booked a flight after 2 months in my freshman year of college. She attempted to get in my dorm. Luckily we have cards that sign us in. I told them to call the police if she doesn't leave. My paternal grandparents allowed me to stay with them during summer and winter. They also blocked her number. She found out by one of my uncles that I was staying at their place. Unsurprisingly she attempted to visit me. My grandfather told her to get off his property. My grandmother came out screaming how she always thought my father could do better than her and that she was glad they were together so that they can have me. I started going to therapy right after I graduated college. My therapist told me I had to confront my feelings instead of hiding it. So I did the unthinkable and called my mother. I asked her to come visit me at my home. She's knocking on my door in 3 weeks. I opened the door and I'm not surprised to what I see. Messed up mascara due to tears and red eyes. I rejected her hug and told her to sit. I asked her how was work. I only got one-worded answers. I asked her to tell me everything. She told me everything. How she met my friend at the grocery store. How they started texting each other. She told me she met him several times after I told her I knew. I then told my piece. I know most of the stuff I said. This is what I told her. Mom, I know that you're more just my mom. You're a woman who has needs and desires. In my eyes, you deserve to find someone who makes you happy and wants to spend their life with you. However, I thought our relationship also gave you some sort of happiness. I thought you would treasure it and you wouldn't disregard it when it came to finding that happiness. I had a dream when I was young. That once I get married, we would live right next to each other. That once you get old you could move in with me like they do in Indian families. I wanted to share my life with you even after I moved on. I don't want any of that anymore. Mom, I have not only moved on in life but I've moved on from you. I think you should do the same. She got into hysterics and begged for forgiveness. I told her to leave. It's been 2 days. I feel like a burden has left my soul. What's the next step to move on? No advice here as someone who left home early cause I can't stand my mom. But that doesn't mean the respect and love isn't there. We still catch up and I try my best to give her a call every now and then. The last part confuses me a bit, and I don't mean to invalidate any of your emotions. But why is it necessary that she can't be a part of your life anymore? Given that you understood how she also has needs and desires, and probably regretted what she did. Just a bit extreme for me I guess. Sometimes, we think that we don't need them, mom, dad, or anyone, until it's too late. There's needs and desires and then there's a 40-year-old knowingly ducking a high schooler who is friends with their own child. That's incredibly creepy and I could never look at my parent again knowing they were capable of that. It's confusing. Why did she really cut her mother because she slept with a guy she liked? Or was she in a relationship with the guy? Was it because she was bullied? Mom knew that Op was in love with this guy. Op is a guy. It was his friend. From the reading it looked like he was in love with his friend. He talks as she had betrayed him having a forbidden relationship with him. In this case I think Op has aimed his anger at the wrong people. The ones who he should hate were the bullies, not his mom. Or that his mom was in a relationship with a minor. How come everyone skipped completely over that? His friend was 18. If the friend was 18, he wasn't a minor. Having a relationship with someone your children's age is weird, though, even more so if the step-parent is a friend of the child Ren. If the mom and friend had gotten married, Op might have had a stepfather younger than himself. I wasn't saying a thing about the relationship, only correcting misinformation. Still was a big age gap though. And? That doesn't change the fact he wasn't a minor. That's all I was commenting on. And? I was also just saying it's a really big age gap. Thumbs up. 18 is still a child and this is the hill I will die on. Despite that, at 18 a person is legally an adult. That's the age of majority. Regardless how you feel about it. That's my only point. Then you need to run for governmental office and get an awful lot of things changed buddy because in the eyes of the law 18 is an adult. Yes, legally an 18-year-old person is an adult. Practically, they are still a child. In your weird little country 18-year-olds can buy guns, drive and do any number of adult things, other than drink for some reason. They are adults. In many cases they are immature adults, but they are adults. The amount of people asking why she is still cut off from your life or why didn't you talk to her then, and how your mom deserves better are horrible people. They don't seem to grasp that she slept with a friend of yours, knowing he was your friend and he was your age, and kept this secret from you. She knew you were friends since you used to hang out at your house and so she knew she was deceiving you. And you took the flames because your friend obviously bragged to you about your mom. The whole school probably knew at one point. Expecting you to be able to deal with it and get over it after so much emotional abuse and betrayal by the only person you trusted and had as a parent is ridiculous. Why didn't you confront her? Yes, Why a 17-year-old didn't have the mentality to talk to his adult mom when he was being pressured by all these events, when his mom should know better than to sleep with her son's friend that is the same age as her son. You cut her off because you needed space. You needed to be someone without having to remember of your mother, and she kept pressuring you to meet. Now you have to deal with this and you noticed she just isn't important to you anymore, and that you don't need her. She may need you, yes, but she did her bed and she now has to lie in it. It's not your job to keep someone you don't want in your life because this person needs you. You both need therapy. She needs to deal with the fallout of her decisions. She was lonely and he gave her attention and what she thought she needed? Yes. Does she deserve to be forgiven after you were deeply traumatized by her relationship and bullying? No. She needs therapy so she can move on. And you need to continue therapy to let go of this rage and this shame, not to forgive her in the future, but because you deserve to live a better life. It shows that you are still very hung up on it, and sometimes we need to let things go to heal ourselves. Letting go does not equal having her in your life and forgiving her, okay? You can heal and still never want someone in your life. Update: I23M told my mom45F I no longer want a relationship with my mom. How do I cope now? Previous post: I got a call last week that my mom attempted suicide by overdosing on pills. I didn't want to go but my fiancé pushed me to fly over there. I reached the hospital. I then met this guy who approached me by asking my name. It was an older gentleman. He introduced himself as my mother's boyfriend. She led me to her room. I admit I felt uncomfortable seeing my mom hooked up to multiple machines. She started to get excited and joyfully cried when she saw my face. She begged for my hug. I reluctantly obliged. She bombarded me with so many questions. Here's the part I got really uncomfortable with. She said that her boyfriend and her can move close to me if the time ever comes. I freaked out and her boyfriend followed me out of her room. The man breaks down in tears and is asking me to have her back in life. He told me not a day goes by that she doesn't think about me. She is always talking about me. He is afraid of losing her. I told him I needed time to think about it. I feel guilty saying this, but I don't think my mom and I will ever have a close relationship even if I let her back in my life. Like I might call her to check up on her, but I highly doubt I'll visit often. I really don't know what to do at this point. Your mother made her life choices. It's not your responsibility to support her mental health at the expense of her own. If this isn't something you can get past, it isn't on you to fake it. They had a happy life. He's throwing years of love and happiness for one incident. She didn't even get a chance to apologize or attempt to make amends. It was one strike and you're out. Yes, and he still doesn't owe her reconciliation. He gets to draw his boundaries wherever he sees fit. She made a choice, and this wasn't a single incident, it was an ongoing thing. I'm not saying I draw the same boundaries, but I don't think trying to convince someone their feelings are wrong will fix anything. Honestly, not sure what these comments are on. I would be pissed at my parents if they pulled this bullshit on me. I've cut people out for less. So what if she raised you well? It's her ducking job to raise you well as she is the one who decided to have you. What I feel like people don't get. She slept with one of your friends while you were in high school. WTF. Even if he was 18 and it's not clear, that is totally inappropriate. And if genders were reversed, you damn well know everyone would be saying she was a pedophile. She didn't respect your boundaries. You went to North Carolina and she tried to just keep invading your life. Where the hell is the remorse there? There isn't. She should have just let you be and instead was disrespectful AF. Per your first post, she continued to sleep with the dude just fresh out of high school after you went away to college. I frankly think your mom showed disgusting behavior. She probably watched your friend grow up for a few years. Like being a 13 and 14 in high school is young AF. And then she slept with him? No dog, that's not cool, and the people who say you are being too harsh are disgusting for condoning this behavior. I think it's good you went to the hospital and shows you have a kind heart. Like, she almost died, so I get it. But I don't think you need to have a close relationship with her again. She has been nothing but disrespectful to you these few years, and it seems like she only wants forgiveness to feel less guilty. She could have downloaded Tinder FFS and slept with a guy her age. Instead she slept with a high schooler, and there are texts to prove it. I think you got to do what is best for you up, and I don't think you need to let her back in your life. Enjoy your new life with being married soon and have your own family. She made her choices. Now it's yours. I wish you a happy marriage and support. My dad was awful to us. Abandoned us, formed a new family, disinherited us to give all his money to his new wife's family. I cut contact for a decade. Then he got COVID. I flew back to my home country to see him and take care of him. He stayed in the hospital for 6 months, ultimately dying when he got COVID again. Those 6 months I made peace with him, even if he never asked for forgiveness. We had a good time, and I gave everything to make him comfortable and happy during his long hospital stay. Did he deserve it? No. But I know I did the right thing. He may have left this world with regrets, but I know I never will. Do what you want with my story, but my personal policy is, without being a pushover, I'll always err on the side of kindness. Thank you. Finally, a comment that is there to help Op and not to demonize his mother. FGS Op knows what his mother did, he doesn't need to be reminded. The mother continued to see the boy even though her son cut her out of her life. Where is the regret there? If she wanted her son's forgiveness so much, why did she keep seeing him? Are you stupid? Where in the post does it say that she was still seeing his friend? He got to the hospital and was introduced to his mum's new partner. It was in the first post. Before commenting, it is better that you read both posts. Do not mention the new couple at any time. It says in the first post. Look who's stupid now, hatching chick. From your old post, I asked her to tell me everything. She told me everything. How she met my friend at the grocery store. How they started texting each other. She told me she met him several times after I told her I knew. So not only was your mother a predator, sleeping with a high schooler and your friend, she still kept seeing him afterwards. She felt no remorse, not an ounce of guilt about how she hurt you. She straight up showed that she didn't care about you or your feelings when she kept meeting him. No matter how good of a mom she was before, that doesn't negate the fact that she hurt you in one of the most disgusting ways possible. Like, the dynamics of it is just something I still can't wrap my brain around. The mom was a vile predator, end of story. Disowning pedophiles and sexual predators is a perfectly acceptable thing to do, especially when they're family. And it seems like her presence brings you nothing but pain and heartbreak. So what even is the point of having a relationship with her? Her guilt might be real now, but that's not on you to help her through it. If she really were remorseful, she wouldn't be putting it on you either, but she is, which leads me to believe that she still doesn't get it and is still just as selfish. She needs a therapist more than she needs a relationship with you, Op, I'm sorry to say. That does mean though that you owe her nothing. You can choose to walk away, and I believe that would be the best solution for you. Checking in on her is a good idea too. And the ducking audacity of the BF to try and guilt trip you. Tell him to pound sand. Who does he think he is, asking you to take on such a burden like that? And really, he's with a predator, so his morals are probably just as awful as her. Don't put any stock into what he or your mom say, they're not worth shit. ETA, to all the people in the comments saying it's fine if the guy was 18, y'all are creepy and messed up as shit. He was the same age as her goddamn son. Y'all are sick in the head clutching that legal age limit like a bunch of ducking predators and abusers. I bet you're the same people who have countdowns for female celebs' 18th b-days so you can finally legally harass them. Absolutely vile. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.